YouTube, what's going on? It's Skywise here, back with another video. I have here today with me my 2016 Subaru STI. And we are going to be talking about front mount and top mount intercoolers. Now, if you're watching this, I want to think that you're either considering one, you're doing research on one, you have one, or you're just thinking if, once again, you're considering one, if that's the route that you want to take. Now, I want you guys to leave with a few takeaways today. I want you to know if a front mount intercooler is for you, if you should stay with a top mount intercooler, what are the benefits of a front mount intercooler, what are the benefits of a top mount intercooler, overall cost, labor, installation, and just the specs on the two and which one best suits you. I might have a few little obvious cuts. I have my son out here while I'm recording with me today. Who's a good little baby? You or you? So let me just start off by saying that there is nothing wrong with your top mount intercooler. Your top mount intercooler can guarantee you up to at least 600 horsepower to the crank. So there's no need to get rid of it unless you're building an all-out, gutted-out 1,000 horsepower, STI. That's obviously not going to be running a top mount intercooler. A quality top mount intercooler will take you to the limits, especially for a daily driver, and you'll maintain the same reliability of having your factory top mount. There's plenty of aftermarket top mounts on the market. I had a Mishimoto one. I know a lot of people don't like that brand. I had no issues with it. I had a black atomized one, and I thought it was a great one. And plus, when you install an aftermarket top mount intercooler, you don't have to retune the car. You basically it's a plug and play. So it's very simple. I think anybody could do a top mount intercooler. Front mount is something you're really, truly considering. I think they run with piping and cord and all that. I think it runs about $1,700. That's for the ETS. I know Grimspeed makes one. I believe Cobb may make a kit. And then Mishimoto makes a kit as well. I do not recommend going with the Mishimoto front mount. Top mounts are fine, but I wouldn't go with their front mount, because if you spend just a little more, you can get a much better quality front mount intercooler in a company that makes astounding front mounts. Now, keep in mind, when you do go front mount, you are going to experience a bit more turbo lag. Now, with that being said, if you upgrade your turbo into a bigger turbo, you're probably already experiencing more turbo lag because you have a bigger turbo, it takes more time to spool. But now with a front mount, look at how much piping is from the front to the turbo. That's a substantial amount of piping. So you're not gonna have this small elbow piece that a top mount would have that pipes air right into it. You're gonna have to rely on much longer piping. So you're gonna have, I personally have an upgraded turbo, a bigger turbo in my car, and I have a front mount, and I have nasty turbo lag. It sucks. My car has no balls on the low end, which is very unfortunate, but it's one of the things that come with upgrading of the car and certain routes you go, and that's unfortunately something that I deal with. Now, when it comes to bypass valves and blow-off valves, that's the same bypass valve I ran with my top mount. It's a Boomba, and it was a universal fit. I believe that's for a majority of them. Front mounts use the same flange as a top mount would use for blow-offs or bypass. But keep in mind, with a blow-off valve, you do need a tune if you're running an atmospheric blow-off valve. I'm running a speed density tune now, but if you're going to be releasing that air, you do need a tune, unfortunately. So one of the biggest downsides, though, of maintaining and retaining a top mount intercooler is going to be heat soak. Where it sits is going to be right above the turbo, and the heat is going to rise from that turbo and heat soak your top mount. And for constant city driving, that's not going to be good, because the whole purpose of an intercooler is to keep your engine cool. It's not going to be able to do that if it's heat soaking very bad. As for the front mount, obviously that's not going to heat soak off of fumes from the engine, because it's all the way in the front of the car. So you're not going to be getting those fumes. And I believe you'll still be utilizing the hood scoop, because even though it's not going to be centered on the top mount, it's still going to be bringing in cool air to displace all the hot air in the engine bay. And when you do go with a rotated turbo setup, you have to go with a front mount intercooler, because you need the space there to mount the rotated turbo. So basically, to sum up the video, should you go with the front mount intercooler, it's purely based on what route you are going to be taking with your Subaru. Are you going to be going with a bigger turbo down the road? Yes. Do you want 600 plus horsepower, or per se, we'll lower? Do you want 500 plus horsepower? Yes. Are you looking to get the most out of the car? Yes. Do you live somewhere where it gets very hot and humid and you believe your car heat soaks? Yes. Do you want to look cool and have people notice your car better and you want to stand out? Did you watch the Fast and Furious? Those were cool cars, right? Do you want to have a cool car? Yeah, you probably should go with the front mount. It's cool. People are going to notice it. Look how cool it looks. Look how mean it looks. There's so many reasons, but at the end of the day, you don't have to go with the front mount. Going with the front mount isn't going to give you all this power that you dream of. You're really probably not going to feel a difference initially driving your car with going with the front mount intercooler. You're not going to get in your car and feel a huge difference. But just because you're not going to feel a difference doesn't mean that you'll have the thought in your head that your car is more reliable, it's more beneficial, it's more efficient. There's multiple reasons supporting having a front mount intercooler. But I don't want to be one of those mods that you think if you do it, because with the price point, $1,700, and if you get it installed at a shop, it's going to be like $3,000+. So once you do all that, you know, it's one of those mods and you're spending all that money, you're going to think you're going to get in your car and you're going to feel a massive difference and a massive gain in power or torque. That's unfortunately not the case unless your tuner is holding back a little bit of power because due to the fact that you're not currently running a front mount. So other than that, you're not going to feel a massive difference other than a mental thing, and your car internally is going to feel that difference more than you do with cooling and temperatures and just any benefits that support the turbo. When you upgrade turbo or your turbo, one of the biggest things are supporting mods for that turbo, and definitely front mount intercooler is one of those things. But for the daily driver and the daily race car driver and basic bolt-ons or city driver, your top mount is fine. There's no need to upgrade it. Just because I know multiple people that are running a top mount intercooler, and I know guys with front mount intercoolers, and those top mounts are faster than those front mounts. So once again, it's not all about power, it's more just so at the end of the day about efficiency and the route for the car in the future. That sums it up for the video today, guys. Please leave a like, subscribe. I plan on making as many videos as I can on the cars. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching and take it easy.